So this year, 2026, everyone seems to be talking about Reddit. Reddit are absolutely smashing it in terms of their results. They've just launched their first quarter results, and the performance is very strong. They've increased their daily active unique users by 17% year on year to 126.8 million. Their weekly active uniques have increased by 23%, and their revenue has grown by 69% year on year. So they're seeing a lot more advertisers on the platform. So we this year have had lots of questions from our clients. Should I be using Reddit? Is Reddit something we should be considering as part of our strategy? How do you use Reddit? What are the risks? And should we be advertising there? So those are just some of the questions that our members are asking us on our consultancy calls, or we are being asked about on our free workshops as well. Now, Reddit this week has actually published a really useful SME guide. We're going to be sharing the link to this guide in the chat, so look out for that post in just a few moments' time. But this guide highlights how businesses can leverage Reddit's massive user base to drive growth. I think one of the main reasons why people are so interested in Reddit all of a sudden isn't because it's a new platform, it's been around for years and years, but because of the impact it now has on LLMs like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini. They are all highly sourcing Reddit as part of their results. And this was one of the big trends that we predicted we'd see this year is an increase in interest for Reddit. Reddit has been portrayed as a hub for more niche communities where brands can connect with people through very specific interest groups like nostalgia, luxury goods, education, tips and advice around certain topics. And actually, this guide goes into some of the key trends and advertising tips for small businesses on Reddit. So, what I always encourage you to do as a very first port of call is to actually just spend some time listening on the platform. So, if you're not sure if Reddit is for you as a business, just spend some time there. Get to know what conversations exist around your industry, who the big kind of contributors are as well, whether it's the same people. As we can see here in this document that Reddit have put together, users do tend to focus a lot on maybe hospitality recommendations as well. So there's lots of groups or subreddits, they're called, set up around places to eat, places to drink, local business areas. People are tending to, yeah, focus in on buying local as well. There's a lot of trends like nostalgia hunters. So people are actively seeking out nostalgic conversations, cultural moments, anything that's kind of happened in the past. They're saying, like, oh, does anyone remember this? Does anyone remember that? So that's a big trend. And actually, I noticed in the report they mentioned that there was a big subreddit for Polly Pocket users, for example. So, nostalgia around things like old toys or things that they want to be brought back. Last night, I went down a Reddit rabbit hole around the TV series Scrubs, which has recently been brought back because I was a big fan back in the day. So, I was using Reddit to kind of see what people thought of the new series and whether it was worth watching. Also, shoppers look to subreddits to crowdsource and validate their next high quality splurge or daily upgrade. So, a lot of people will jump onto Reddit to find out more about a product and whether it's worth the price, whether people recommend it as well. So, this could be a way that you use maybe ads on Reddit to showcase your product and its benefits using carousel formats. So you can actually choose where your ads do appear on Reddit in terms of interest groups that you're targeting. Also, there's a lot of knowledge seekers on Reddit too. So people are using Reddit as a bit of a classroom to find advice, share tips, upskill. So there may well be conversations happening around kind of information around your product or industry as well. And that's something we really recently did for Avocado Social. We were using Reddit to find out what kind of social media marketing advice, courses, and webinars were being recommended on the platform. There's also quite a few people who are organizing events, sharing interest and local knowledge within their neighborhoods. And then finally, a lot of people who want in-depth insights and unfiltered feedback before making any purchase decisions as well. So there's lots of opportunity for a really wide range of organizations to be utilizing Reddit. But as I said, a really good place to start is actually just to have a profile and to start doing some social listening. In fact, our top tips for Reddit are to search to see what conversations exist about your brand, but also your industry as well. Have a look to see if there are any conversations worth jumping into, either under a brand account or maybe a representative of your brand. So a personal user who's been set up as an opportunity to showcase and advocate your brand. Also, do have a look to see if there are any subreddits, so these groups of people, these forums which exist where you could be getting involved in conversation. So, for example, in the UK, there is a big subreddit called UK Travel. And within that, there's lots of travel tips, conversations about where to go, where to stay, kind of what to do in local areas. And so that's a huge opportunity for many hospitality businesses to get involved in. And are there any Reddit influencers who can offer a little bit of, you could offer a bit of a contra deal with in return for some Reddit conversation and discussion, which would of course need to be fully disclosed if it is an ad. So those are just some of the questions I would start with for getting started on Reddit. They have also recently launched a new integration with HubSpot, which means you can create and schedule posts on your Reddit profile or to specific communities directly from HubSpot's social tool. So this is an indicator that this is also something that I'm sure many of the other social media scheduling tools like Sprout or Hootsuite will begin to look into as well. Usually it starts with somebody like HubSpot and then that's rolled out. You can also monitor Reddit using HubSpot, so you can track how your brand, products, and competitors are all being discussed on Reddit. And you can directly engage and respond to Reddit threads from your HubSpot social inbox as well. There's also performance tracking too. So if you're a HubSpot user, then it's certainly worth considering whether or not you need to get Reddit hooked into your HubSpot social inbox. And I'm sure we're going to see more of those third-party tools embrace Reddit as part of their offering as well. This was an example that caught our attention this week. This was shared by a social media commentator called Leah Haberman on a recent LinkedIn newsletter. And the LinkedIn newsletter is called In Case You Missed It. Sarah will drop the link to the chat to this article that we spotted. But this was a really interesting case of how the airline United are using Reddit not to post, but to gain insight and feedback from their customers. The United Airlines team came across a post from a father whose son had lost his Pokemon card binder. Rather than leaving a sympathetic comment and moving on, the United team decided to share the story internally, and employees around the world responded and donated more than 17,000 Pokemon cards to replace what the boy had lost. Let's take a quick look at this story, which was shared across social media recently.
You recently lost your collection of Pokemon cards. All of us United were able to come together, donate a few cards, and we'd like to help you start a new collection.
Thank you so much. Is this the best day of your life, Reed? Yes. Reed had misplaced his binder full of beloved Pokemon cards.
These cards were his life. We were on a United plane when we realized we didn't have them on us, and so there wasn't a whole lot we could do. We were heartbroken.
I posted something to an online forum seeking assistance looking for the cards in the airport. The way that the airline community rallied was just astounding.
When a child loses something special to them, it can really make or break their spirit. So I just thought I'd go home and ask my boys, like, hey, there was a boy who lost his cards. Would you like to give? And they said yes.
You know what? This is just one binder, and we got a couple more binders for you too.
It's more than 15,000.
What a fab story. I love those good news stories that are shared across socials. So, what a brilliant example of a way in which Reddit can be used not to post kind of your standard social media content that you're posting on other platforms, but to really understand insight or feedback from your customers or to help a particular case as well. So, definitely thinking about Reddit slightly more outside the box. Now, if you work for a hospitality brand, if you're a hospitality marketer, then we actually have Reddit coming to an upcoming event that we're hosting in London. This is a day-long boot camp that we're hosting with our friend Mark McCulloch, MBE, where hospitality marketers can finally get the answers they've been searching for regarding social strategies, shortcuts, and creative ideas. So we have Reddit speaking. They're going to be sharing a strategic playbook for modern marketers, and they're going to be discussing how hospitality brands can really embrace Reddit for conversations, community, social listening, and strategy as well. So I'm really looking forward to that talk. Not only is Reddit speaking, myself and Mark have lots to share, and we also have TikTok speaking as well at the event. So it should be a great day. Give me a shout if you're interested in booking, and I'm sure I can wangle you a bit of discount on your tickets as well.